Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we'll be talking about the Kiwi Ardor, Audiophile ANC, Bluetooth, wired, and Type-C headphone. Before we get started, a big thanks to Linsol for sending over the Ardor for review. But as always, this review will be 100% my honest opinion. Also, I am so sorry, Linsol. I truly apologize that I actually have postponed many items from them because, yeah, as you know, if you watch my very long M21 video, that I was kinda sick for a month plus and things are getting out of control, so yeah. Anyway, the Kiwi Ardor is priced at 99 USD without any sale, but I guess right now there should be a sale going on. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Kiwi Ardor actually kinda unique in a way. I believe the Ardor uses 40mm plus 10mm dynamic driver. Anyway, here's the box. The box looks kinda simple-ish. And then, because my table kinda small, yeah, there's the specs. And like, look at this. And yeah, the playing time 140 hours with ANC off. And I actually can confirm that I've been using this like for a month and I don't even have to charge it. Like, I use it daily. Crazy. If I'm not wrong, I wrote this on my article that the battery life for a month it only drops to 80%. Like, how? This is like so crazy. But anyway, yeah, there's also a hybrid ANC, and for the impedance itself, it's only 32 ohm, which is kinda normal and easy to drive. Also, the sensitivity is 100 dB plus or minus 3 dB. I don't know if this is per milliwatt or something, but yeah. Noise reduction depth minus 32 dB plus or minus 3 dB. As for the ANC, I can say that this thing is kinda good on reducing noise, especially like low hum. But at least for me, I found the ANC kinda have this weird effect on my ears. It's like kinda, I don't know if this is because of I'm wearing glasses or something, so the seal kinda not exactly in the correct position. But anyway, so yeah, here's the unboxing experience. There's a little foam, and let me check. Yeah, the little foam only at the bottom part of the box. So as you can see, you get yourself a very nice carrying case. I actually like this a lot. Like, it's so portable and it's so stylish too. And inside the case, you got yourself a manual and a USB-C to USB-C. And as I said, you can use the Ardor via USB and a normal 3.5 to 3.5 single-ended connector. And here it is, the headphone. Okay, now let's talk about the build quality and comfort. First of all, the build quality, I really dig it. It's like, well, it's a bit dusty now because it's been a month or almost 2 months. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Linsol. I've been postponing your... Yeah, anyway. So, the design is like, in a way, kinda reminds me of Bose. Is it Bose or is it Sony? I believe there's a branded, like quote-unquote, branded headphone that has similar looks to this. But yeah, I really like the... This is like lettered. Most likely because it is 99 USD. And then you got a swivel and this thing. it has a click, but it kinda, yeah, it's not exactly loose, but there's no numbering. So if you, by any chance, like me, suffering from OCD stuff, and like you want the, let's say, this is the right ear cups. So you want the right to be extended like 3 clicks. See, there's already 2 clicks. Like, you have to really, yes, just a note for people that having OCD. Yeah, enjoy. And for the build itself, I think it's just okay. It does have some squeaking noises because it is kinda made out of plastic, but it's not exactly a bad plastic either. Just as a reminder that it does have some squeaks for the builds. Like, I don't know if my mic can pick it up or not. And then there's a certification logo, I guess, like this part. Also, the ear pads are very plush, and like, look at this, like it's so soft. Meanwhile, my Sony, is it the XM5? It's like it's so thin. The Sony one, the ear pads is so thin, and then it really just, yeah, like, bro, that thing costs 300, 400, I don't know. And then we have Ardor, only 99 USD with this very plush earpads, and it's actually removable. So just in case you got it damaged or something, you can order a new one from Linsol or Kiwi Ears. I don't know, maybe. I have to reconfirm if they sell the earpads replacement, but at least I asked Linsol that the earpads are removable. So there's that. As for the controls, on the left side of the ear cups, you have a USB-C port, ANC button, and on the right side, 3.5 jack, power button, and volume control. And I'm not sure, this is maybe the microphone itself. Like, also there's here on this part, if I can show it, yeah, here it is. I believe this is either a microphone for ANC or like a venting system, I'm not sure. And for the headband, it's also very comfortable. Like, I can literally wear this whole day. Like, it's almost like unhealthy, but yeah, I can enjoy this like for a whole day. Like, and on top of that, because of the spectacular battery life, like but anyway, as a reminder, I just want to say that take the headphones off for every few hours or like every hours or so, and let your ears breathe technically, because it is a closed back headphone, so it's not really breathable, but also it's not exactly toasty either. So it's just, yeah, it's just a closed back headphone. Now let's talk about the specs and features. The Ardor is a dual driver headphone, just as I said earlier, and they said that the driver, the 10mm and 40mm, in coaxial position or something, I don't know, but yeah, it sounds good, so it doesn't matter. But one thing that I have a gripe, even though the Ardor is marketed as audiophile, like the keyword here is audiophile, okay? So sadly, the codecs supported are only SBC and AAC. Like, hello? Didn't you say this is like audiophile headphones? So I really wish that they included at least LDAC or something. But yeah, it is what it is. As for the Bluetooth latency, you can definitely notice it, especially for gaming. So this is clearly a no-go with Bluetooth for gaming. It is really disorienting to play games using the Bluetooth connection, at least for me. As for watching movies, it is still okay, it's passable. But technically, you can also use the Ardor wire using the 3.5 or even the Type-C. As for the impedance and the sensitivity, I already said about it. Also, let's talk a bit about the ANC. As I said before, that I do experience like some kinda discomfort. Not exactly discomfort, it just feels weird. Like, I don't know, it's either because of my glasses or something, or my head is too big or too, I don't know, I'm not sure. But yeah, just in case you notice that if you turn on the ANC and you experience like some kind of weird feeling, I do experience that as well. As for the noise reduction itself, it's really good. As I said earlier, it's really good. Like, it's only 99 USD and it has this kind of good ANC and like 140 hours of playback time. Like, it's crazy. Though we can still kinda hear a loud dog barking, at least on my house that because I do have how many dogs? 5 dogs. Yeah, if my dog is barking, so it's just kinda, I can hear it a tiny bit. It also supports transparency mode, which is actually good sounding. And even though we cannot adjust how much transparency or sound to pass through the headphones itself, the amount of noise or volume of the transparency is actually just spot on. I can listen to music while I can hear my surroundings. Like, this one is not a gimmick and actually quite useful. If you plan to use the Ardor outside while commuting or like, let's say, in the office. Ironically, like the XM5 from Sony, the transparency, it is indeed adjustable, but even though the Sony, I put the transparency like to the max, and yeah, I cannot hear anything if the music is playing. Like, it's just kinda gimmicky in a way. But for Ardor, I can actually hear, like, if people calling my names or like there's an announcement, yeah, I can easily hear it, even with the music on. But there's also a miscommunication or stuff with the Ardor. I believe they put spatial audio support. I will grab the screenshot and put it here. I asked Linsol that they said there's no spatial sound mode on the Ardor, so I don't know, maybe they are referring to Windows spatial support or something. As for the battery life, as I said, it could last 140 hours of playback time with ANC off and 72 hours with ANC on. Like as I said, I have used the Ardor for like 1 month or more daily, and the battery life on my Android device, when I check it, it still shows at 80%, so it's so crazy. Okay, let's talk about the sound. As for the sound, I test obviously using the Kiwi Ardor itself, like in SBC and AAC, but I mostly use AAC because it sounds better from the SBC. And I try using the Ardor with the BTR11 and plug it directly to my Poco M6 Pro, and with Kiwi Ears Allegro Pro. And for the music, I use Apple Music. For the genre, it's J-pop, rock, EDM, metal, jazz, and rap. And yes, I tested the Ardor using all of the available connectivity, including Bluetooth, wired, and Type-C. The first impression I get from the Ardor is that it has a rather easy to listen tonality, but if I activate the ANC, the bass seems get a bit of lift, like it sounds a bit more bassier. But thankfully, I think Kiwi Ears tune the Ardor using physical tuning rather than just, you know, putting a simple DSP or EQ just like the Sony. Because when I use the Ardor with the 3.5 and USB-C and the Bluetooth, the tonality is actually pretty consistent. As for the transparency mode, it does not alter the tonality, it just like using it without any ANC or transparency, so the tonality change is only when you enable the ANC on. The general tonality of the Ardor, I would describe it as Harman-like, a bit more bass than true Harman, but has a slender or almost like, I can say it's almost thin sounding lower mid-range around 300 Hz and a calmer or less upper mid-range area than true Harman. I could even say this is like a almost mild V-shaped headphones, to be honest with you. Okay, so I will describe the sound with the Bluetooth with AAC codec. The bass is full sounding, bouncy, not exactly thick, but the bass is definitely boosted. For the mid-range, it is a bit thin, just like I wish it has a bit more body, but it's personal preference because I use HD 650. That headphone is kinda thick sounding, so going to the Ardor, I found it a bit too thin for my liking, but yeah, anyway. It still sounds good, but vocals lack a bit of depth and not exactly forward, same as the instrument playback, but thankfully, due to the lack of 3 kHz, it reduces shout, and the timbre is, I can say it's natural enough. The only thing I can complain about is that it is a bit lacking in the body because I really used to the HD 650 sound, but I don't know, maybe for other it just sounds fine and normal. So yeah, as for the treble, it has decent extension but can be quite pokey on certain songs due to the 7 kHz boost. But 80% of the time when I listen using this headphone, I feel the treble is indeed a bit boosted but still on the comfy side to listen to. So with the Type-C connectivity, I noticed the overall sound resolution is increased, so definitely the AAC here is the limitation of this headphone. I feel like the treble is a bit more expanded. It feels like it has a nice airy quality to it compared to the AAC, but with the tonality itself, I only noticed like a bit more extended treble and a bit more airy compared to the AAC Bluetooth codec. With the 3.5mm, it depends on which sound source you're connecting the Ardor to. If it is connected to, let's say, to my Poco M6 Pro or the cheap BTR11, it is more or less just same sounding or even less resolution than the Type-C connection. But if I connect the Ardor to, let's say, like Kiwi Ears Allegro Pro, I definitely notices quite improvement in the bass tom. It definitely feels fuller and the overall technicality is just better. For a $99 USD headphone, if you use it mainly with Bluetooth, I would say the technicalities are just decent, a bit better with the Type-C connection. But if you plug this using the 3.5mm into an external DAC amp, the technicality of this headphone is actually quite good. For the technicalities, I would just describe it with AAC Bluetooth configuration, and I do blame the AAC connection for bottlenecking the technicalities. Let's start from the stage. Definitely, the Ardor is wider than, let's say, M40, M20, M30 and M50X from Audio-Technica. It has decent stage layering, not really wonderfully or mind-blowingly good, but well, I guess again the AAC is the one to blame here. So as for the imaging, I would say this sounds 2.5D sounding, and what I mean by 2.5D sounding is that it definitely does not present you with holographic imaging, but it's not exactly randomly pushing like just, hey, this is a sound, enjoy. Not exactly like that either. So it's not plain 2D sounding, but it's not quite holographic, so I would categorize it, or at least in my vocabulary, I made it. It sounds 2.5D sounding. Separation and positioning is decent. The separation could be a bit better, but positioning is quite clear where sound is coming from. As for detail retrieval, it's good despite it only have AAC codecs. It has enough details for you to enjoy your music, but it's definitely better on 3.5 wired with good DAC amp. So again, AAC, why? As for comparison, I will compare it with the M20X BT. The M20X BT build quality is definitely just nah. I don't like it. And the tonality of the M20X BT is a bit wonky, even for they like, the M series is like for monitoring, and even Audio-Technica marketed the M series like for studio work and stuff. So yeah, even like with that claim, the tonality is kinda wonky in a way. So sound-wise, the Ardor definitely blows the M20X out of the water, regardless of what connection you use. Battery life? Obviously, Ardor easily wins this comparison. And I will also compare it with the Kiwi Ears Aventus, review coming soon. The Aventus is another headphone from Kiwi Ears. The Aventus is marketed towards DJ and has a rather, sorry to say, but non-elegant looks, and the RGB is just plain gimmick. Like, I'm sorry, but even my Christmas tree decoration look better than that LED of the Aventus. So yeah. As for the sound, the Aventus I believe definitely has better DAC amp built in, or at least a better amp, because on Bluetooth mode Aventus it's still only limited at AAC codecs, but Aventus could push a lot more volume than Ardor to the point it hurts to listen to. Tonality wise, the Aventus in its Bluetooth mode using the thin foam, and yes, there's actually two foam with Aventus. There's a thin foam and a thicker foam, so with the thin foam, it definitely has more mid-bass and sounds thicker than the Ardor, due to the fact those mid-bass coloration kinda bleed to the lower mid-range. But it also has some dip in the upper mid-range area, but now it's around 1.5 kHz. The effect of that dip is that you get less nasally tone, which, not gonna lie, if you EQ the Aventus to make it like more or less has a flat bass, it sounds almost like how Hi-Fi-Man usually presents their midrange, like those Sendara and HE400 SE midrange, they almost sounds like that. Funny enough, with Aventus, if you activate the ANC on, you actually get less bass instead. It's like the opposite of the Ardor, so I don't know what's going on with the thing, but yes, it is what it is. As for the treble itself, with the stock thin foam, the treble is less boosted than the Ardor, even lesser if you change to the thick foam. As for battery life, definitely Ardor wins hands down. Technicalities are actually a bit better on the Aventus, even on the Bluetooth mode. So what is the conclusion of this review? And sorry if I'm kinda laughing or like making weird noises in this review. I don't know, yeah, it is what it is. I guess I'm just going crazy in a way because, life. Anyway, the conclusion of this review, if you're looking for a sub $100 USD Bluetooth headphones, especially for portable use, I can easily recommend this headphone. The fact that the battery life is just plain mind-blowing. I use this like daily. I use this daily, bro, almost 2 months, and it's still on like 70 and 80%. It's just plain madness. Also, this headphone is very comfortable to wear, like legit one of the most comfy on the market, regardless of any price. So kudos to Kiwi Ears. In fact, the Ardor has been like my daily, 2 months, 2.5 months everyday carry headphone. It speaks a lot because I am really picky with headphone, especially close back, because I don't really like close back headphones. So the only thing I could nitpick from this headphone is that because this was marketed as audiophile headphone, I wish that again they include LDAC supports, like for more detail retrieval and better technicalities. Like as I said, I don't mind like paying extra 20 USD to get LDAC supports. It's just worth it. Other than that, I have zero negative things to say about these headphones. Well, if I were really to nitpick, like really nitpicking right now, it would be the headband is just like, because it does not have any marking, like for people that having an OCD, it's kinda pure nightmare. So yeah, it is what it is. And also the fact Ardor is tuned physically instead of just using the easy way, like use EQ, DSP, and cheating stuff like those branded headphones Sony. It's definitely a plus from me. You can actually enjoy Ardor in higher res with same consistent tonality if you use the 3.5 mm and you use a good DAC amp. Okay, that's all from me for now. I still need to record like 2 more videos, so good luck me, yay! If you found this review helpful, kindly hit like. If you got triggered with my weird laugh and weird noises, hit like 3 times. And subscribe and share it with your friends. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.